You're listening to the Law Enforcement Pirate Radio Network. Radio Free Larry, presiding.
You can run, but you can't hide.
Radio Free Larry.
All right, here we go again. Buckle up, rough roads ahead. You know, something's really weird here. I got this really stiff cable for my headphones. And it's just like messing with me right now. I mean, it's a high quality cable, but they made it too stiff. And then I have some really flexible ones. And guess what? They have like a metallic coating, it seems like. It's nylon, but it sounds like metal, like zzz, while you're trying to speak, you know. The slightest little rub reverberates. So again, you know, it's really strange. I was speaking with a woman in Kansas, and it was a business transaction. Kansas. I'm like, you people are different up there. And that might be a cue. You might be taking each other down and just embracing the devil all day. They may not be doing that as much up there. Let me see. Am I broadcasting? Hello, hello, hello. Why is this down like that? It's supposed to be over there. Got my phone on sound. I usually don't. I was just having so many phone calls where they put you on hold and then they say, okay, we can call you back when the operator's available. So you have to put your phone on sound. Because I don't really expect too many calls. And if anybody's going to call me, I'll just call you back. You know, I'm not going to sit here and do that BS. So has anybody actually looked at the license plates to find out the probability of these license plates appearing versus others? I mean, these cases are easy to investigate, really. Because remember, it's their code, so they know how to manipulate people's minds and to harass people's minds just by simple letters. But the letters don't mean anything until they torch you around the letters and numbers. Now, theoretically, in an investigation, they could mean something. But if you're a corrupt investigator and go, well, they're just the best of the best. No. What they're doing is trying to make people look guilty that are innocent and trying to make people that are guilty look. Oh, wait. If people that are innocent look guilty and people that are guilty look innocent. Yeah, the same thing I've been saying the whole time. I mean, they're not real. They're police officers, some of them. Some are in law enforcement, FBI, DHS, wherever, Marshals Service, state police, wherever it is, detective, whatever it is. But there's something called a real cop, a real police officer. They're not real police officers. They're crooks. There was a takeover of law enforcement. Now you go, well, what about Chicago? What about the guy that was torturing people? Yeah, they existed, but it was a little bit. That's what was like the cell. You know what I mean? There's the cell, and it's operating there in Chicago, but you didn't have it like everywhere. And it's not a majority, although it could be a majority, which means you can't be a majority if you're a crook. That's just how it works. That's one of their favorite things. Well, we're in the majority. Well, you know, you're a faction still. So again, I think one of the everybody's ignorant, even those that wave the flag and say they're patriots and stuff. They're actually communists that we fought. Again, there's communism, socialism. Then there's communism and socialism that we fought. Those are, there's a difference between certain schools of socialism, certain schools of communism, and what we fought. There's a difference between capitalism and free enterprise and what we have going on here in the United States. What we have going on here is akin to the crony communism that we fought. It's crony capitalism, but you almost can't call it capitalism because it has such a strong basis in government officials. Corrupt government officials are saying who gets money, who doesn't get money. They're a big part of it. If they were to be arrested for what everybody knows they're doing, which they should be, then it has no teeth, then it doesn't exist anymore. It's called racketeering. It's called RICO. What they did is they took that RICO statute and applied it to street gangs. Poor kids in the ghetto that stepped over the line. Although sometimes they use it for foreign gangs and transnational gangs also. But you'll very rarely find it going towards some sort of white guy somewhere, or even a black person or a Latino person that's part of the deep state, part of the secret society, criminal organizations. Deep state is not Republican, is not Democrat. That was a scam by the Republicans that were involved in deep state to make everybody believe that it was a political thing. It's kind of like the pedophiles, the QAnon people saying that the rich pedophiles are Democrats. The rich pedophiles are Republicans, plenty of them. Trump's one of them. So again, you can see that playing over and over again. They kind of use that the oval thinking. He says the oval thing. He says circular logic, and he says so thinking about if the Republicans win, then it was a fair election. If Democrats win, then it's an unfair election. They use the same theories for everything. Been there forever, and I've been explaining it to you. So I got to go over to shopping here and get a few items. It looks like everything's moving along well. I don't think I need to put anything else in my storage unit besides what I have in the back here. And because I think I have enough to fill up a trailer and have even less the second trip. So it is what it is. So that's going to be an interesting road trip. It's really nice, the whole trip. It's just like one highway and that's it generally. Just trying to remember what I was speaking about in the last couple of days, maybe expound on that. Oh, as far as that, yeah, that one officer today, Chicago. Initially, I thought maybe the border, the Homeland Security officer. I don't know what kind of officer he is. Could be a protection guy. I don't know what is. I didn't get deep into it. However, it appears that he could have been led into it. It's just the way the thing sits and the way it looks. Might not be, but it looks like. And again, you say, well, that's still his fault. Well, that's coming from the deep state, from the criminals in government, from the narcotic distributors that work with them, because it's a scam they engage in. What the first thing they do, and you may say he's not isolated, or again, you could be around 15 people and be isolated. It's just spies know how to do that. If everybody around you hates you inside, actually hates you, then you're isolated. You're not with you. It's actually worse than being isolated to a certain degree. And that's what they want to do. They want to make it worse for you to be around people than it is to isolate yourself. And again, the term isolate yourself, it's not real. They created a world where you have to isolate yourself to stay protected. So do I think that person made a free will choice? Probably not. But could they have? Yes, of course. And then what happens is on the computer, every day he's being subliminalized. Now, when they use the coworkers and people around you, they're making you believe the world changed. And they'll keep what some would say liberalizing you, but really sexualizing you. And they'll make you believe that the world is this. Like your age doesn't matter. Like they couldn't even get me to date somebody that was like, 4 years younger, hardly at all. Not that I dated many people. I was just holding out for what I would believe would be the real relationship, not holding out like, oh my God, it's coming, it's going to come. I know it's one person. No, it wasn't that. Because that's what they wanted people to believe. It's more like, I want a real relationship. I don't want to have the same mistakes happen. And I'll get there when I get there. But, every time I tried, they killed even just making friends with people. And nobody, no woman. If I had like $1 million, I could probably find a woman to stay with me. I could have been married probably pretty quick, and they know that. So again, they kill the church in the person's life because the church will do the same that the woman will do. They'll all sell out and they'll do something negative or run away. And the idea is they're stalking the person you're speaking to or the people around you. And if they do a DWI, they'll as soon as they see them leave the bar, they pull them over and they say, "You got to do something for us." So again, it's the same thing we do for real law enforcement, but they've gone to the dark side, and they are the most criminal thing that we could ever have had happen in the United States. They're murderers upon murderers upon murderers, rapists upon rapists upon rapists, and they cause others to rape. They cause others to murder. No, that's telling me something. You know what it means? It means they're cursing me. Whoa! We'll just whammy that and let God handle it. No, I'm going the wrong way here. That means that's an effectuation of their curse. Like this guy here might be an in-person, and he'll try to hit him or her if they're an in-person, like, "What are you doing?" Gotcha. And they create just animosity and hate. What they're doing is they're stressing out their victims with that illegal, sheriff's department. There's like a whole sheriff's department that does this. They'll follow people around all day while they do stuff online to them, might be drugging them, doing all sorts of stuff. And then the person freaks out. They go, "Oh, we're doing okay. What's wrong with that?" It's just like the typical mafioso bullshit person that belongs in prison for the rest of their life. I mean, in fact, it took them a long time to do this to me. A very long. I mean, there's people who spent less time in jail for felony crimes than the time they spent destroying my life, and they're healthy. Watch people come out of it, and they complain about it, right? They're full of shit. The Republicans are part of it. You watch people come out of jail, and they got the best dentistry. They got the best health care. They come out of there looking 10, 20 years younger than everybody else because they're in with those piece of shit Republicans and some piece of shit Democrats that sold out the nation. They're not stopping anybody from having something that actually committed a crime. That's the only thing they know how to say because it's so egregious and horrendous, and they have to hire every little dumb idiot that's out there on the street trying to make a few dollars beyond what's legal. But they walk around like, "Oh, we're going to church today. You want to go with it?" "Oh, my friend is Officer Fu. He believes in the almighty Fu. He'll come to church with us." So again, price of gas is coming down. That's real nice. I'm actually going to Walmart, but I'm driving around because I'm still broadcasting. So again, there's no reason that any of them are outside of a prison environment. Never was, never will be. And no reason outside of criminal activity. I mean, obviously, some of these law enforcement entities are criminal gangs, or at least run by criminal gangs. Again, it's like any other community that has a organized crime element in it. It's not everybody, but nobody else is going to buck that criminal system. So I was trying to see what the price of gas is here. See what we're down to. I already adjusted it for inflation. We're doing good. I mean, we're doing great, actually. We're below what we needed, I think. You pulled it wrong. Gotcha. There's no reason I wasn't married. Again, the spirits want me to say something. There's no reason I wasn't married other than that they did this to me. I mean, there were women that just were forced, and some of them end up having sex with these agents and officers and the private sector people involved. It's like an insane orgy, and they get off on it, man. They totally get off on it. Like she just pulled in there, didn't she? Right? They're gonna pull in there. Let's see what we got here. No, it's off the pump. All right. Yeah, I was trying to get the what the what the price of gas was here. It's Sam's Club, but I can't seem to find it. Yeah, but I think it was like $2.29 the other day, a gallon of regular. That's good timing for my trip. But it looks like it's going to work out, at least the move part of it. It's not something I'm looking forward to, but leaving Oklahoma is something that probably has to happen. About as shitty as it gets for now. Yeah, it's like so strange. This woman, she's affiliated with him somewhere. She's either an investigator or a private sector person or something. And I had the other woman keep cursing me when I hit my this is like I have this ding that happens. It's my I instruct you to keep cursing me. You know what I'm saying. Don't act ignorant like you are. When my trailer hitch hits, that's when they curse me. It's one of the signs. So yes, ding. So there's this woman, and she does all this crazy stuff. But now she's got a dog, so she tries to get me. They know I'm into dog training, so they try to simulate that to see if they can stimulate me. They're not doing anything psychologically sound. She's essentially a Nazi, is what she is. She's a psychological Mengele. I think I said it right, Dr. Mengele or Mengele, whatever it was. They're experimenting with people, and they get off on it. But the other day, I saw her before she walked out of her apartment. It's like I don't even think about her. She's forcing herself into my mind. Oh, it's danger! He says this. It means he's going to attack her. No, it means God's going to send her to hell if she doesn't stop. Simple. The same thing I've been saying the whole time. It's obvious that I am psychic. I'm telekinetic. God listens to me. I listen to God. It's obvious. The people in your churches, they're idiots. They're fools for the devil. They took over the church when they took over law enforcement. It's the same thing. It's the same organization. So I see her, and I'm like, why am I seeing her? What is this? And then she comes walking out of it for me. I'm like, oh, yo, what a devil. No, she said, at this point, she's considered a devil. No longer is she just like a bad person. She is considered a devil, and God will treat her accordingly. And no detective, investigator, I never said I was God, and I don't infer that I'm God. They take every psychological issue that they could create in your life and try to make it look like it, or just say that it is. What kind of filth that a scum like all of you in law enforcement? Well, stay peaceful. Praise God in all that you do. Praise God.